now.
All right, the cameras are rolling. You got
All right. Well, here's the easy part. Hi, I'm Rex with Syntaxiss, and I'm excited to be here working with some professional people. About 6 months ago, I decided that I wanted to fabricate a YouTube channel, just like everybody else, and find the way to fame and fortune through YouTube. Well, you know, there's a lot more to it than that. My first month alone was mind-boggling, learning about algorithms and how you're supposed to tag your videos and all this other stuff that was so debilitating as far as actually getting any real results and producing anything, because I was constantly, you know, trying to figure out how it all works. So at this point, through the first 6 months of this channel, I used AI to generate a bunch of videos, you know, and a lot of people frown on that. But, you know, initially for me, the ease of production with the AI was this. I could take some script, drop it into the AI, and it would say, "Welcome to Syntaxiss. I'm Rex, and tonight I'm going to say this, that, and the other, and I'll be a son of a bitch if it didn't sound just like me." And I got off on that, and I'm like, okay, well, this is easy breezy production, and all I got to do is type and drop and drag and, you know, all of that. So that was kind of how I got started. And so with my obsessive compulsive behavior, the way I always do, what I did was simply make 200 videos, and I work currently as a massage therapist. I'm no fancy musician, I'm not a renowned entertainer, I'm just some guy who has a love for music, science, and passion, and people. And but I would really like to make this channel go. So I'm segueing from using AI created material to actually talking to you in person as a human being with my actual mouth and actual words rather than a AI generated scenario. And that is how really the success in this community works, is by building relationships with people through YouTube, but also directly with people in the community. And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to utilize this resource here at Tone Central Station as an outreach to other musicians, and in time I want to rent this place regularly, once a month or more, depending on what kind of people I can get together, and come in here with real musicians and play real music. I've got several projects that I aspire to put together, bands that I would like to produce, and frankly, that's the real reason I've amassed so much equipment. It's not for some need to satisfy my maniacal collector's mentality or my ego of look what I've got. It's because I want to bring people together and be able to play music and have whatever tools we need to do whatever we want to express. And if someone says, "Oh, dude, I wish we had a so-and-so," I'm going to say, you know what? We do. And there's my segue. Let me show you this box right here. I was going to make a big production earlier tonight where we roll in the box, and I have a big production about it. But, you know, we can do that later. The whole point was to initiate the process and to show you where I'm going with this. I've got bazillions of clever ideas, but in practicality, what we have here is a whole shitload of pedals. And so let's talk about them. You know, first of all, I have to pay tribute to Josh and JHS Pedals, because up until the pandemic, I was like the guy who said, you know, fuck pedals. I got a cool JVM Marshall. It's got digital reverb. It's got crunchy fucking sound, and it's got clean sound. And that's all I need. Everything else can fuck off, you know. I plug in, it works. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, I played in so many bands with so many dudes that had fucking racks as big as refrigerators, and one fucking chord in your signal flow drops, and the whole thing is out the window. So at one point, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. Give me a guitar, give me a chord, I'll plug in, and fuck the pedals. And that kept me going for years and years and years. But again, I was not a professional touring musician. I was just a hobbyist, you know, and I'm not going to make any pretense and pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not. But I will tell you that I'm somebody who wants to interact with the music community and offer my thoughts and ideas and act as a catalyst, hopefully, to bring others into a higher level of experience, for lack of a better thing. So, you know, be warned that I am just totally improvising right now and saying whatever words come into my mind. So, you know, if I fuck up a little bit here and there, that's okay. And I do have a very articulate and eloquent vocabulary, and I use the word fuck and other profanity on purpose because it's a punctuation and it keeps things real, you know? I mean, anyway, so here we go. Take two. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? What we got here is the box. And what's in the box? Well, today we're going to show you. We have a whole bunch of pedals, but they're not just pedals, they're pedal boards. And they're not just pedal boards, they're all complete units ready to go. I, with my obsessive compulsive behavior, I like brands. If I liked your brand, I will buy your shit exclusively. So, let's see what's in this first bag. This is an on-stage pedal board, made by the company called OnStage. They make everything that you need for OnStage. Oh, good segue. Josh and JASHS pedals. Okay, guys. So at one point you came out with what they called the 3 Series, and I said, okay, that's pretty cool. And then the first time that they had the annual 25% off sale, well, say no more. Anyway, these are there's 2 more of these 3 Series pedals that I have that are not on this board, but this is the JHS 3 Series board. And this board contains front and back end stuff, really. You've got all these different effects that I'm going to talk about more specifically in other videos, but I just wanted to show you some of what's in the box. So that's the JHS 3 Series. It's a complete pedal board. It's got a MXR ISO board on the bottom. They all do. So they are all ready to go, ready to wire, plug and play, and that's all there is to it. In this next bag, let's see what we got here. This one, we're going to pop this bad boy open. Okay, now we're getting into an area that I'm particularly fond of. What we have here is a group of TC Electronics pedals. This is half of what I call my effects loop board. My effects loop board is comprised of 20 TC take two. What am I saying? Yeah, my effects loop board is comprised of 20 TC Electronics pedals, all modulation pedals. You know, no distortion, no fuzz, you know, but we do have, you know, your modulation pedals, your reverbs, your pitch shifting. Reverbs have always been one of my favorites, so I've got several different reverbs by TC. So anyway, that's what's in this bag. In this other bag, I believe, is the second half of the TC Electronics effects loop board. We're going to pop that bad boy open, and yep. So this is the other half of the TC Electronics effects board loop. This is really fun because it's got some of your harmonizers and pitch shifters, sub up, sub down. The mimic is really cool. I like playing metal with this mimic. It makes one guitar sound, you know, thicker, and you can actually set it so that there's a discrepancy between the tone, and it gives a little wider field between the anyway, we'll talk more about that later with people who are very knowledgeable about it and can tell you what it really does, but I like that pedal a lot. Anyway, so that's the TC Electronics effects loop pedal. Now, in this last bag, in this section, we have, this is like a kind of a catchphrase board. It's got all sorts of different things in it. It's got TC Ditto Looper, the original X4. It's got a Strydman Iridium amp in a box thing. It's got reverb. It's got amp modeling. It's great. One thing I would like to talk about specifically, earlier you saw with the TC Electronics, I have a big collection. Back in 1976, that's right, 1976, TC Electronics came out with the stereo chorus pitch modulator flanger. And this was literally the gold standard for chorus, stereo chorus modulation for decades. They went on to go and dominate for a while with their rack mount version and it was just so fantastic. So the reason that I have all those other TC Electronics pedals, not only because of the fact that they're excellent pedals, but because they're very nostalgic to me. You know, I started playing guitar in 1979, and my first effect pedal was an MXR Distortion Plus and a Morley wah-wah pedal. And boy, that was a noisy son of a bitch mess. You can't even imagine that Morley wah-wah pedal. Oh my God, it was one of the, what they called an optical wah or something. I don't know, but anyway, the TC has always been a very, very favored brand by me. So that's what's in this particular box. Now, the thing about these pedal boards is, you know, they're a liquid thing. The fun of pedals for so many people is stacking pedals and rearranging pedals. Well, if you think about just what I've shown you in this modulation portion of the program, I mean, there is infinite possibilities, literally, for sound. And in a little while, we're going to plug in some of this and we're going to play through some of this. But I wanted to show you some of these resources because these are the tools that I have. So when I bring these we'll be taking a brief time out for a moment, folks. Okay, my brain needs to... Okay, so anyway, all right, well, I talked through that for a minute, and now I'm going to talk about something else. So, I mean, there was some cohesion there at some point, yeah? Okay. I'm just going to keep talking. So, yeah, I wanted to go back to... I wanted to go back to what I was talking to about Josh Scott and JHS pedals. You know, they really have revolutionized the culture of pedals and have made it a fun process for people. You know, their tagline, "He has the box," has become so huge and epic that I've kept every box that I've have for everything that I've bought. I've been brainwashed by Josh. Last summer I bought a new electric mower and I started to keep the box to that. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell am I doing? I don't need to keep the box to my lawnmower. And still though, I can't lie, I have kept certain guitar boxes from Gibson guitars, and yes, they are filled with pedal boxes. And I felt like that was justifiable though. I'm like, okay, well, if I put my pedal boxes inside my guitar box, then I've saved space and I've saved all those boxes. But really, I gotta give it up, man, and let the boxes go, because that's why I have all these fabulous bags and these foot pedal assortments, because they're ready to go. There's no need to keep my box. So in just a little while though, we're going to plug in some of these pedals and I'm going to play some guitar, and hopefully we'll have an easy transition and the audio will come up right away. I'm going to make it easy for everybody. I'm going to provide an output out of well, in fact, here it is right now. Want to talk about ease? Yeah. So here's the Impulse IR Reserve, or whatever, IR, whatever it's called. Anyway, this is like basically like going out of an amp speaker cabinet. So when I use these amp emulators here in a few minutes, the last thing I use in the signal chain will be this little Impulse guy, and then we'll send this quarter out. We'll send the quarter-inch feed straight into the board, and it will be as if the board is hearing it out of a cabinet. That's the theory behind these speaker emulators, is the way I understand it. But if I'm wrong about that, please tell me down in the comments, because that's what this is all about. If I make mistakes or open a can of worms that I'm not familiar with, I'm asking for you guys' help to come out and straighten me out and let me know. Because again, I want to reiterate, I am not an expert in anything. I am an enthusiast in everything. Oh yeah, you can quote me on that one. I am not an expert in anything, but I am an enthusiast in everything. And I really do hope that you'll stay tuned to Syntaxiss because we've got some really good material coming up after the break. Which means I'm going to walk over here and get my bottle of drink. And I'll wheel my other little box over here now that I'm feeling better. Because this has got the shit in it that I actually need. This is all the front end stuff. That's all the back end stuff over there. And this guy I can pick up by myself. Ugh, almost. Yeah. Fucking A, man. All right. Good for me. I'm just bringing in a new prop.
Stop this one.
No need to stop.
All good?
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them noses rolling. All right. So here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. He has the box. He has the box. He has the box. The box. He has the box. Hey, he has the box. But what's in it? What's in the box? Hey, what's in that box? Excuse me. This is Syntaxiss. I got a box. Do you know what's in it? I bet you don't. I'm not always sure if I know what's in it because it changes. And that's going to be the fun of the box because there's going to be different stuff in it every time. And we're going to open the box and we're going to find out what's in it. So here we go. He has the box. He has the box. Can he open the box though? Oh, here we go. I don't know. We'll find out. Opening the box. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand back. The box is opening. Woo! There it is. All right. The box. Again, we see, not unlike in our last box, we see a series of pedal boards. Not one, but 4 pedal boards. And, what's in this box? There's a box within the box. Let's pull it out first. In a fine road case, we find, very nice, a foot pedal. More on that later. We got lots of those too. But we're not talking about those right now. All right, so continuing with the Syntaxiss arsenal, this is the front end arsenal. Another on-stage bag. Ooh, this is a nice one. This is one of my favorites that I play around the house with. This is a all JHS, except for the MXR power. Hey Josh, when are you going to make some power supplies that are really great and overpriced? Oh, sorry. No, you guys have a good day. I'm just teasing you. Because I buy your stuff. You saw those other ones earlier. So anyway, here we have a JHS board with a Morning Glory, and this is the hard drive, which is sort of like a big fuzz distortion kind of thing from the past. This is a Lucky Cat delay, which I really dig, and this is their new flight delay, I think it's called. I don't know. And then the Spring Tank Reverb. So this is a board that I've been using a lot. Recently I picked up a couple of Marshall JTM 60s. I picked up one with 4 10-inch speakers. Wait, take 2. I picked up one with 3 10-inch speakers, and I picked up one with 1 12-inch speaker. And I've been playing this through it, and I've been really pleasantly surprised with the tones that I've been getting out of that JTM60, because I had never even actually paid attention to those amplifiers until I saw one at a reasonable price recently, and I obtained it. I was really pleased with it, and then I saw another one at an even better price, and so of course, because I have a problem, I had to buy that one because it was just such a good deal. But again, the reason I have the 2 amps though is to provide for others. So now, you know, in some of these iterations of these bands, I have 2 nice JTM 60 amps, 2 guitar players. We can play two guitars through the same but slightly different amps, so we can have a continuity of sound. Because I've found in my limited experience with music production and whatnot, that continuity is very important, especially when you're doing something repetitively. You want that consistency in your sound. So anyway, opening up this next pedal board bag, we've got, oh, this is a good one. This board was built to do a muffathon, which is the Electro Harmonics Big Muff Shootout, the muffathon I called it, and it's got 6 iterations of the Big Muff, beginning with the triangle Big Muff, the pie, the green Russian pie, the op amp, some other one that they came out with again, and the Big Muff metal. So we see that we've got those pedals available. That's for the Big Muff Muffathon. Continuing on, we've got a couple more bags of front end pedals, and this is a very reasonable series by TC Electronics called the Ampworks series. I only have 4 of the 6. I've got the 550 rather, which is a 5150 type thing. We've got the Combo Deluxe 65, which is a Fender. The Jim's 800, which is obviously supposed to be a JCM 800, and then the Dual Rec, which is obviously the Mesa Boogie Dual Rectifier. So these are pretty great little pedals, I must say, and we're probably going to be using some just shortly. So stay tuned. All right, this last front end box is, oh, this is a funny one. This is actually a funny little pedal board that I put together for playing some bass through this evening. This is kind of hilarious. It's got a tuner. It's got the Big Muff bass distortion. I've got a DoD envelope filter, which really gives you that really weird kind of envelope filter sound. And if you don't know what that is, we'll find out more about that later. I've also got the bass octave, which is, I really haven't spent much time with. I traded a pedal from a buddy, and it's a strange pedal, but we'll talk more about that later. There's an MXR Joshua ambient delay. I spoke earlier of my preference for delays and reverb, so this is kind of really a lush kind of thing. And then at the end I've got a ditto looper, obviously just to drop a loop in and play with that. But again, the thing I want to repeat though is the fun thing about this collection of pedals is that it is a liquid collection, and that these pedals have the ability to do just so many things in conjunction with one another. I asked at one point, one of those chat GPT things, how many combinations, how many ways can you stack 100 pedals? And the number was so large and so unpronounceable that it was just mind-boggling. It was like, because, that's a lot of ways to stack 100 pedals. And so anyway, I wanted to share some of the resources we have. The other thing that I'd like to draw your attention to is this base of this microphone, this box that I built. Well, I didn't build it, it's actually a wine box, and then I painted it with chalkboard paint, and then the little door for it, I painted chalkboard paint. You can draw on it with chalk and erase it. So if you need to do something or communicate, take 3 or whatever. And then on the other side, I painted it with refrigerator enamel, so the mouse will work on it. Because I've had so much problem in my life, trying to do stuff, and you're putting the mouse here and you're putting the mouse there, and it doesn't work. So I painted this on the back of this, and so this is my little mouse table when I'm at home in the studio. And this box, which houses all, I called it the utility belt or the bat belt. The utility belt has got things, cab, what do you call it? Let me read the words instead of just trying to say. This is one of the more interesting pedals that I've picked up recently. I call it a pedal because it was not cheap, but it is a speaker cabinet combiner. It's called a Cab Link, and the Cab Link is by a company called Radial. And I was really impressed the construction of it. It's super duper heavy duty, super duper solid, and it enables you to do what it says, which is link cabs. You can combine 4 ohms, 8 ohms, 16. You can juggle any speaker cabinets and amplifier combinations that you might have, and then successfully run them without danger or damage. I've recently been building a arsenal of speaker cabinets of various sizes and different impedances, and so this became really crucial, enabling me to basically combine any cabinets and heads that I have in this rather interesting collection of Marshall amps. So this one is kind of an expensive one, but this one I found was probably the best one available for what it is. And the thing that makes it more special is it's also got a line out. So you can not only combine the impedance of the power that's going to the speakers, but you can get a line level output and go into the board. So right out of your head. So that's really one of the benefits of that one. I bought this other one. These are by a company called Cab Merger, and they do the same thing as this one, but these were like $44. And these are really great. I use these for little smaller watt applications. I've got some small 10-inch Celestions that I put in those little small 110 Marshall cabinets, and those are at 16 ohms. So by using these apparatuses, I can combine any number of different cabinets and applications with the different amplifier heads. So anyway, these pedals are practical pedals, which enable you to utilize your equipment in ways that you haven't been able to previously. Because the thing that got me thinking about this originally is I have a little Marshall 1-watt head that I use just for noodling around and practicing on at home, and that is a 16 ohm only output. Oh no, 16 ohm only. Okay, well, fine. I want to run 2 little Marshall cabinets with 10s. So what happened? Well, going backwards in the story, I discovered these cab links and cab merger things. So these are really highly recommended and give you great flexibility with the equipment that you're working with at home or on the road or in the studio or whatever. So yeah, but for practical purposes, the $44 one is awesome. Frankly, I bought 2 of these for $88, and this one was like $150. But again, this one does have some features that make it worth the money. However, it's not necessarily something that you're going to use as often probably as these little guys. So anyway, that's some of the pedals that are on the utility board. We've got splitters, we've got buffered splitters, A/B pedals. All these different tools are available so that as we bring the community together and try to put these random productions together quickly, we'll be able to do so very easily by this and that and the other, by having splitters and mergers, and some of those kind of pedals are the ones that people often overlook, and I think are the most practical to have in application for what we're trying to do, which is create sound, whether it be replicating it live or recording it. We want to have options. And I know for me personally, one of the greatest things that I experience in trying to be creative through my life, and I know I've heard stories by everyone, how we're on a creative tear, and then, where's that adapter? Where's that splitter? Where's that cord? Where's this? Where's that? And then you spend 15, 20 minutes looking for something, and you've lost your fire. You've lost that creative impetus. And so I think in setting the stage for an environment for people to express themselves, we need to be ready for anything. Yeah, go to the box. What do you need? You need that flanger, you need that delay. Hey, you want to do an octave shift? Whatever, dude, let's do it. So that's the fun, I think, is the empowerment of what we're going to be able to produce with these tools. Because these are not items that were acquired just for the sake, I said earlier, of vanity or just sheer collectivity. They were practical tools. And that holds true with all the guitars that I have acquired over the last many years. I want to use those instruments with others and share them with others. As a producer, someone says, yeah, man, I wish I could play an SG right now. Well, that's fun. Oh man, I wish I had this. Well, okay, we got that too. Oh, well, I want one of those. Okay. Well, what's your next excuse, man? We got it all. You know, so that's the thing. People find limitations in life, and once we find an ability to dissolve our limitations, are both real and perceived, then we start to move forward with some momentum and velocity in life. You know, our intentions are only as good as our follow through and our action. You know, so often we have these great moments of clarity and creative ideas and all this that we can do, but the thing, the follow through is the important thing in life. Just like tonight, a lot of the things that I wanted to do didn't necessarily pan out the way I expected them to, but that forced me to adapt and to do the best I could in the situation that I've been presented with. And I think that that's got to be what we all try to do as we approach our music and building a community with others, is not being so concerned with ourselves, but let's think about other people, because I find in trying to provide assistance for others that helps us to grow. And again, I want to reiterate the fact that Sonic Sciences exists is sheerly for the purpose of growing and expanding a community of people with a combined and shared experience and knowledge that can share that with others and help future generations. You know, going back in time, I started playing guitar seriously-ish when I was about 14 years old. And the technology at the time was, well, let me tell you, I was learning songs off of records, and we would slow the records down, and you've heard all the stories, you've heard all the things. And the point that I'd like to make is that now, 40 years later, our children are imbued with technology at their fingertips that enables them to create and produce and learn and share and grow. And there are no boundaries any longer at what can be accomplished. And the simple act of creating a video and sharing a sincere thought with others has the potential to change lives. And whether it's talking about music or health or fitness or whatever it is, the important thing is that we share our experiences with others so that they might in turn do the same. And that's how evolution, that's evolution, you know, and music is evolving. But the thing that is consistent is the sincerity of people to express their emotions without being judged. That's what music's ever been about. You know, in the punk rock days, people wanted to get angry and yell and scream and protest, and that's fine. That was within their rights, and that's how they found their pleasure in their expression. You know, music isn't just about playing guitar, playing bass, playing this riff or playing that riff. It's about a lifestyle. It's about an ambition to be a part of something bigger than yourself. You know, most people become entertainers because they want to see and be seen. They want to excite others, and they want to be stimulated by sharing their energy with others. And, you know, there's so much more to this world than just wanting and taking. The most important thing is giving and helping, because that's all life is really for. You know, it's not about me sitting here showing off guitar. It's about me telling you sincerely that I want to build a community with you and all those around you and share the knowledge base that we all have so that we can build a community that we're proud of and something that we can all participate in. And I have no idea where this is coming from, okay? So what I probably need to do is just shut the fuck up and play some guitar. So I'm gonna take a little break and plug some stuff in, and we'll be right back after these messages. Time out.
Right on.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude.